Welcome to the VIDE Department of Education's 2020-2021 Parent and Community Educational Conference. Research has shown that parental involvement is a key factor in student achievement and students' overall success in life. It is also known to be true that parents tend to participate more in their child's education when they know how and when they feel knowledgeable and equipped with the tools to do so. With this in mind, the VI Department of Education has provided professional development for parents over the years, and we are pleased to continue providing this important and necessary support. What's new at the department, however, is the professional development we are providing for the VI community. This change is due to the fact that successful school systems have strong, positive, and consistent community support. And with this goal of rebuilding the community's trust in the Virgin Islands public education system, I am delighted to bring this educational conference to you. Your participation in today's conference will help to transform our public education system. I look forward to hearing about your experience today and the areas of the VI public education system you would like to learn more about. Remember, together we can transform public education in the Virgin Islands. Enjoy today's session.
Welcome. I am Arisilda Otley-Herman, Deputy Superintendent of the St. Croix District here at the Virgin Islands Department of Education. Today, I will be sharing information with you regarding Schoology and how you can use it effectively with your children. Let's get started. What is Schoology? So Schoology is our learning management system. This is our online platform that teachers are going to use to post classroom materials, to share information. Schools are going to use it to send you messages and engage parents, but also think of Schoology as a digital classroom. When we are in the physical realm, we have 4 walls where students have all of their resources, their books, their workbook pages, anything that the teacher needs to instruct them. So Schoology is the online platform, which we're going to call our virtual classroom, where teachers are able to, again, share assignments, upload projects, and students in turn are able to return that to them. So it helps them stay organized, and it helps everyone, including parents, remain connected. So what does your Schoology parent account look like? What does it give you access to? You now have access to your child's classes that they're enrolled in. You get to see their upcoming assignments. You get to see school announcements and class announcements. Think of it as an easy online tool that keeps you involved, just like you would have had the opportunity to walk into a physical classroom. Schoology provides a digital way for you to be engaged in your students' ongoing learning. So we're going to start off by talking about creating your account. How do you do that? Well, you go to www.schoology.com, you click sign up, and you choose parent. But what's important is that from your school, whether it's your child's teacher, counselor, or even an administrator, you are to request a 12-digit account code. Each account code is unique to your student. So this code remains the same for the entire school year and can be used across various family members. If you have an engaged aunt, if you have an engaged grandparent, if you have a third cousin twice removed that you're going to be using to assist your child in understanding their math homework, this code remains the same as long as it is across all of the parental uses. So you fill out the form, you insert the code, and you click register, and ta-da, your account is created. Now, after you've created your account, in terms of logging into your account, you're going to go to app.schoology.com. You enter the email address that you used to create your account as your username. You enter your password, and you need to indicate the name of your child's school. You can either search by the school name or the postal code. All postal codes for St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John school districts are on the slide in front of you. You would select the school from the list, and what you can do is check the box that says remember my school as an option so that when you log in again, You don't have to search again. Now, there are some initial steps. There's some of us that are very organized, and some initial steps that you may want to take when you set up your Schoology account. We're going to go through some of the features of Schoology, but we're also going to talk about what are some key steps that you as a parent would need to do as you set up your account. Because a parent account in Schoology is like having two accounts. You have your personal account where you have your own name and your own information, but then you have access to your child's activity view. So from here in Schoology, you are able to view from your child's perspective. You get to see what he or she sees. You get to see what assignments they have, what their calendar looks like. So a parent Schoology account, again, is technically two accounts, your personal account and your student's account. So the first time you log into Schoology, you may just want to make sure that there are some things that are set up in terms of what view you would want to see, or even if you are want to go directly into your calendar, or how you want that to feed into the student's calendar. So in order to determine the first page that you see, whether you want to see your view or your child's view, you would go to the default menu account and you would select the main account. Again, is the parent account. That's your personal account. So when you log in, you would see whether it's your messages from anyone that sent you a message or even what's on your calendar. You can also change the default to what, so that when you log in as a parent, the first thing you see is your child's activities. So you get to see what's upcoming, what's ongoing, and what's overdue. So here's a brief preview of what you would see. When you log in, on the top toolbar, you'd see your parent name. You click the down arrow, and of course, because again, this is access to multiple accounts, you would need to know whether you're in your parent account or in your child's account. A bright green arrow will check off, letting you know whose account you're in. So as the image is shown, I would be in the parent account, but if I was to click on the child account, there would be a green arrow next to the child's name. So always be aware of where that arrow is, because that lets you know whose account you're in at the time. In terms of account settings, here is where you would go back and, just like I talked about before, setting up which account you would like to view when you log in. So you would go to account settings on that drop box. You would go and you would set your default account. So again, main account is the parent account, and then child activity page is your child's account. If you are a parent and when you log in, you want to go straight in and see what your child is doing, you would set your account to child activity page. Now, many of us have multiple children within the system. And so how do we add? Do we need to create multiple parent accounts? No, you do not. What you do need is an access code for each child. Remember, this access code is unique to each child. And when you go to the drop down, after you've created your account, you would click next to your name, and there will be an option for you to add a child. When you add that child, a box is going to pop up, prompting you to enter in the code. You drop in that access code and you hit use code. You can repeat this for as many children as you have. So again, add child, drop in the access code in the box that pops up, use code, and then you have access to your children's account. How do we navigate Schoology? Well, from your account, what you would see, or even your child's account, what you would see when you log in, at the top of the bar is courses. Courses shows you all of the courses that your child is registered in. What do they have access to? Whether it's English, music, science, biology. Courses is where you can go, and that's one option, to go into the class and see what the assignments are, the discussion questions, or even the tasks at hand. Groups allow you to see the groups that your child is registered in. So whether they're in cheerleading, they're in basketball, there's an opportunity for you to see in groups what those groups are doing. As a parent, if you become a part of a booster club or a PTA, Groups is where you, on your page is where you would be updated and what's happening in those groups. The resources tab allows for you to store resources. So even as parents, you have an opportunity, or let's say a locker or a cubicle, to store any resources that you see. So let's say you're working with your students on multiplication and you found a wonderful video online via YouTube, and you want to upload that and save that for your child who's a little bit younger, or even to share it with the teacher. You can store that under your account in resources, and you can create your own digital resource bank. There's also the option of grades at the top of the navigation bar. This is where you will go to see what your child's most recent grades are on their activities. There's a master report, because a lot of times in the Schoology Assessment Center, teachers have the option of testing for mastery. So you would go to grades at the top of the navigation bar to see how your child is progressing in their coursework. Now, when you're in your Schoology account, not your child's, because you wouldn't see what their messages are, or not per se messages, but their notifications are, you have access to a message and notification section. So if someone sends you a message, or if you sent a message and they replied, you go to the messaging center, and this is a great opportunity for communication. As a district representative, I go into Schoology and I've received emails or messages from students, from parents, and even fellow employees in VIDE around different concerns. So in Schoology, you have the opportunity to communicate and use this as a communication tool with the staff at the school. You cannot communicate as a parent to other children, but you can communicate with your child in the messaging center. So you have the opportunity to use this platform as a communication tool in this time to bridge the gap between home and school. In terms of notifications, you do have the opportunity to be notified as to what's happening in regards to your child's activities. You also have the opportunity to be notified about being invited to a group. If the school has opened a 4th grade parents activity club, you get to see that and you get to receive a request. Hey, come and join the 4th grade parents. That request will be under your notification center. If your child did not submit an assignment, that goes into the notification center as well. So again, using this platform as an opportunity to engage you in your child's ongoing learning. So how do you navigate Schoology? If you're viewing as your child, you'll notice on the top bar, there's a light blue bar, and right in the middle it says you are viewing as, and it will tell you your child's name. So again, if you're viewing as me and I'm your child, Aristilla Herman will be right at the top. It's going to show you this display page, because this is what your child sees when they log in. So number 1 represents the student activity. That's the whole middle of that page. And that's the area that talks about your child's most recent submissions, the grades, and any other information that a teacher wants to share. If they submitted a discussion post, you'll see that post right there. On the other side, you could toggle into enrollments, and enrollment talks about the courses that your child is registered in, as well as the individual assignments, tests, and discussion grades that your child received. Number 3 is another opportunity for you to see recent grades. So you go in, you click on grade assignments, you click on discussions, and at this time, we're still taking attendance in PowerSchool. Schoology is our learning management system, and it is tied directly into PowerSchool. So the grades that are here feeds into PowerSchool as well. The difference is that at Schoology, you get to see more details around what the assignment is, what was required, what's the rubrics. And so you have a little more activity or a little more engagement into what's happening, not just seeing the final grade. Number 4 and number 5 are 2 big sections, and I always talk about these 2 sections. So number 4, the overdue section. Overdue, past due, assignments that your child did not submit on time, all fall within the overdue section. So once you log in and you start to see assignments that are there, once it's 2 minutes past the submittal time and your child did not submit, it goes straight into the overdue section. In upcoming, number 5, upcoming is any assignment or project that's on the way. It's ahead of time, it's due. We know our kids, we know our students. They will wait until Sunday at 5:45 p.m. to say, hey, I have a project due. And you're saying, well, how long did you know about this project? Well, now when you log into Schoology as a parent, you get to see that, hey, this project is due in 2 weeks on December 18th. And so I need to get cracking on it, or I need to help you start moving on it, or what's the progress on it. So number 4 and number 5 are very important sections. I mean, all sections are, but in terms of assignments and activities and when they're going to be submitted, number 4 and number 5 are very important. We went through number 6, which is courses. Again, that's where all of the courses that your child is enrolled in, you get to go in individually and click on it and see what's being done. Number 7 is groups. Number 8 is grades. And number 9 is the calendar. Now, the calendar for students, as a parent, you can't edit their calendar, but you can go into their calendar and see all of the activities, all of the assignments, and everything that is due in one central location. So if you go into the calendar, that is what you would see under your child's view. In your view, you have the opportunity to add and even take away activities from within your parent calendar. So if you were invited to a parent-teacher conference, add it to your calendar. If you see that your child has a science project due in 3 months, add it to your calendar. So you have a parent view in terms of seeing what your child has, and you can add to your calendar what they have in their calendar. Now, in Schoology, there's something called an parent email digest. And this is considered like their newsletter. However, as a parent, you get to opt if you want it daily or if you want it weekly. If you want it weekly on a Monday at 6 p.m., because that's when I'm finished work and I can, cool down and check it, you get to go into the account under notification, and you're going to account settings, under notifications and parent email digest, and you are going to set up when you would like to receive this. So the parent email digest is actually, like I said, a newsletter, but it really summarizes everything your child did, whether it's that day or that week. So it talks about, and it looks very similar. It's a course summary. It says, okay, these are the courses your child is in. This is the grade that they have. This is the upcoming assignments. These are the overdue submissions. And these are all of the recent activities, which is the discussions, the submissions, everything that your child has just completed. Now, the parent email digest works for us, for those of us who are not able to log in daily or log in weekly. But what this creates is a summary snapshot that comes straight to your email that you use to sign up for your account of everything that's happening in Schoology. So it's going to summarize it, tell you where they are, what the grades are, what's overdue, what's past due, whatever it needs to tell you. And then you can log into Schoology for additional details. But again, you are able to be informed in real time, and actually the time that you choose. So you're not bombarded with daily or hourly emails. You're bombarded with emails that you have scheduled on the time that works for you. In addition to the email digest, there is another email. I guess I would call it the overdue submissions. That's what it's called. But I would call it the past due, I need to know submissions email. And so you can set an email notification that any assignment that your child is past due on sends you an alert. And this alert says, hey, little Johnny did not submit this assignment. This is the assignment that was due. It comes straight to your email directly the minute that the deadline has passed and there was no submission from your child. So again, this is the overdue submissions email. I call it the past due email, but this is the email that lets you know, hey, your child did not submit their assignment on time. you know, this is the assignment that was due, and it comes straight to your email address. So we're going to stop now for some questions and answers, and I'm going to see if we have anything in our chat or if there is anything that we need to go towards Facebook for.
Okay, there is a little bit of a delay streaming to Facebook. So I don't see anything in the chat right now. If anybody has questions, please raise your hand and we'll get to you that way. I'm gonna go through the live feed on Facebook and see what questions we have.
Okay.
Okay, we do have some stuff on the Facebook feed. So I have Kiki Smithen is asking, what are you all at the Department of Education going to do to better assist those parents who can't comprehend English 100% and are still struggling to understand how to access or operate the devices given to some students? Also, what are you going to do as well to assist those same parents in comprehension of the classwork/homework so that they can be able to help their children with whatever assignments are issued by the teacher?
So Kiki, thank you for that question. Within the department, we do have our ESL program for students who are not, who English is their second language. In addition, many times when we work with our public relations team, we often work to make sure that there's a translation of whatever we're sending out. And so even when we do certain trainings, we often have the opportunity for individuals that don't speak English is their second language, to receive that information. So I'm sure that through public relations, there'll be an updated or something that comes forward to provide that or bridge that gap.
Okay, our next question is from Ileana Alvarez. She's asking, how would a parent find the code, that 12-digit code you are referring to sign up their student?
So Ileana, you would contact your school. The school's teacher, and if not the teacher, probably the counselor or the administrator, and then they would be able to share that access code with you. If they can't get it to you right away, they will contact someone at the district to get it towards them. But I do know that that would be your first line of communication.
Okay, we do have a question from Jay. He's asking, how do parents communicate with teachers?
So Jay, right now, there's a couple options for communicating with teachers. The first option is, I know for us, we have shared all of the teacher email addresses with the community. So, you know, that would be your first line, is sending your teachers an email. Public Relations has posted a parent email address for each school in the territory, which provides, it's usually parents at, and then the name of the school at vide.vi. And so that is another option for you to communicate with the teachers. If you sign up for Schoology, that creates you the messaging center, you have that opportunity as well to communicate with teachers. So that, I think, are the multiple opportunities at this time to directly communicate.
Okay, yeah, and just to add on to that, if you're having trouble finding that address for your child's school, if you go to the department website, vide.vi, and click directory, that will take you to the full directory for all the schools where you can search for your child's school specifically. Let's see, Miss Monique Fleming is asking, where can I get a copy of the manual that is being discussed today? Or I guess she's referring to the presentation.
The presentation, I think we were creating a presentation bank or an opportunity to share the presentations. I think once the public relations has the opportunity, they'll release where you can actually access it. Usually everything is stored on our vide.vi page. Monique, so that would be your first bet. I'm sure that as the conferences and the sessions continue, they'll be posting of the slideshows so that everyone can access them.
Yes, all the presentations are being recorded so that they can be posted to the website so that parents who may be unable to view at this time will be able to view those trainings at their leisure. Okay, let's see if we have any more questions. Okay, I do see somebody is asking for clarity. This may come down to communicating with the teacher. They're seeking clarity about the abundance of work being delivered through the Schoology platform versus when the students were in person in school. So they're asking what is the reason for the increase in work on the digital platform versus when the students were in school.
I think a part of that would be access. Because teachers plan weekly, many times, as a teacher myself, when we wrote our lesson plans, we plan out for the entire week. So we know what each day and each subject is going to look like, what resources we're going to use. And as a teacher, and I'm sure this is what they do, when they sit to plan, they probably upload all of their activities and access to the materials one time. So they know what they're going to use each day, each week, and they put it in there. For students now, you actually, as a student or even as a parent, you now have access to a week-long activities. So it seems like a lot. What I would say is looking at the due dates and seeing when an assignment is due would help to organize how much work a child has to do during each day or each time, because it would come down to access.
Okay, I have another question from Jay. He seems to be having issues getting the grades reviewed or resolved. What would you recommend his next steps be?
If you're having issues with grades being reviewed or resolved, I would say, and you've contacted the teacher, I always encourage everyone, and we do encourage everyone at the district level to start at the school level. Start your conversation with the classroom teacher. And if you don't find a resolve there, then you go to the principal or assistant principal to seek assistance. The district gets involved once you have exhausted all avenues at the school level.
Okay, and our next question is does Schoology shut down like power schools?
So in terms of, so the reason why so power school shuts down when we are getting ready to turn over grades, whether it's progress reports or it's our final marking period grades. So at that point, the system kind of closes to do what we need to do in terms of, creating and printing report cards. Schoology is a learning management system. So what you may not have access to at a certain point is the viewing of grades, but you would still have access to view assignments. If that, so there is a difference. Like with any digital platform though, there are often times that maintenance is happening. So, in addition to when we need to upload or finalize grading in Power School, there are times when there's maintenance that's being done to the systems and to the platforms. And sometimes that causes also a brief or minor shutdown, but it's not consistent.
Good day, parents. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you found the information valuable to understanding the VIDE's functions and beneficial to your ease of engagement with the Department of Education. You may access this information anytime by visiting vide.vi and clicking on the For Families tab. Thank you.